I've been a part of the rock camp community, my whole life. There are adults who watched me grow up here. There are people who taught me my instruments who now I teach alongside.
I started out at Willie Mae as a camper when I was 15, and after my first week as a camper, I knew that I wanted to keep coming back in whatever capacity I could for as long as I could.
I first learned about rock camp from someone who I don't remember their name. And they said, well, there's this thing called Willie Mae Rock Camp. That's really cool, you should check it out. And I did, and it changed my life.
I learned about Willie Mae Rock Camp through their program called Arts and Activism.
The journey here to camp was a roundabout answering of a Craigslist ad and then suddenly trying to get as involved as possible as I could.
I first heard about Willie Mae Rock Camp actually through a bookstore that I also volunteer for called Blue Stockings.
Rock camp is a really powerful anti-oppressive space for me, and I think for a lot of other people, and I think for a lot of us that's why we do keep coming back. And a lot of us come into rock camp not having any idea that that is as big a part of the mission of camp as is music.
It's a utopia of social acceptance.
Hi everyone, welcome to Willie Mae Rock Camp, and thanks so much for your interest in volunteering.
Yes. I am Vivian Njoku. I'm the Educational Programs Director.
I'm Laura Ruaco, and I'm the volunteer coordinator here. This video is meant to give you a sense of what it's like to volunteer at Willie Mae Rock Camp.
Willie Mae Rock Camp is part of a much larger rock camp community that is centered on empowering young people through music, community activism, and social justice. And the original rock camp was founded in Portland in 2001.
Willie Mae Rock Camp was founded a few years later in 2005 when our founding director was inspired by her time volunteering at the Portland Rock Camp.
If you're not familiar with our mission, Willie Mae Rock Camp is a nonprofit that serves girls, women, and gender non-binary people. And we do this through music education programs that foster creativity, self-respect, collaboration, and community building.
As a gender-based organization, it's important for us to be clear that we understand that the liberation of girls and women is inextricably linked to a broader fight for gender justice. And we want to be very clear that our space is inclusive to trans women and girls and gender non-binary individuals.
The beauty of rock camp and being in this environment among women of color, trans women, is the fact that everyone has a different musical background and that there's no mistakes here, and that if you mess up, you're encouraged to keep going.
We want our campers to see a myriad of options for gender presentation, and it's important to us to allow for that by calling our youth just what they are, youth or campers, rather than ladies and girls. Another part of our work to create an anti-oppressive space is acknowledging the ways that gender, race, class, and ability all intersect, and allowing space for people to bring all of their identities to camp.
You're probably really curious about what the actual camp week looks like. And so we're going to give you an idea of the schedule, focusing mostly on Girls Rock Camp since that's our flagship program. But know that we also have Adult Rock Camp, which is for adults ages 19 and up, and Jumpstart, which is for young people ages 5 to 7. And you can find more information about the schedules for those programs on our website. But here we go with Girls Rock.
I've had a number of different roles at rock camp. The ones that I've gravitated to more in the past year that I think I'm just best at are doing workshops, being a counselor, and helping out with assembly.
I got chosen as a band coach and a roadie for the Ladies Rock Summer Session, which is basically the adults women's program.
So what a band coach does is they help facilitate band practice and help answer questions and organize the day and help the band write their song, which they perform on Saturday at the showcase.
Because there's so many different personalities at rock camp and different levels of musical experience, it's important to kind of encourage everyone, and that the sense that everyone feels comfortable enough to try and to try new things.
While it can be really tempting to be like, oh, that's a great idea, and if you change this chord, it would like sound really awesome because that would be like this kind of progression. That's not your role, like at all. But your role is instead to be helping them with like not the craft of songwriting, but with the craft of teamwork.
And you're there to help facilitate that process. And you'll probably get really attached to this group of people as you are so proud of them by the end of the week. It's a really life-changing experience.
The role of an instrument instructor at Rock Camp is not to teach the campers how to be a really good classical musician on their instrument, or even how to have really good technique, or even necessarily how to play scales. And it's not even to like set the foundation of their long career studying this instrument, but it's more about empowering them to be creative with the instrument in a way that's safe for them and safe for the instrument.
The most important thing, rather than like teaching them how to play specific notes and like music theory, is just teaching them like how to hold a bass, how to write a song, and like how to appear confident on stage.
Being a counselor, you are the point person for a group of campers. So they are going through this week and having all these different experiences and all these other awesome people that they're coming in contact with. But you're the person that they're coming to at the beginning of the day to check in and be like, hey, I'm here. And then also to check out at the end of the day and say bye. So in that sense, you're like guiding them from the beginning of the day through to the end of the day and making sure that they're safe and that you know where they are at all times, but you're also helping them make sense of their experience.
Another mentorship role is workshop leader. This has flexible availability, so you'll need to be available for a few hours during either just one afternoon of the week or multiple afternoons if you want to teach a longer week-long course. We also have part-time mentorship roles like assembly leader, which is a role that you need to be available just early in the mornings and later in the afternoon for just about an hour each time. And this is great for people that love leading icebreakers, games, and making announcements. We also have camp social workers and camp nurses that are available as part-time roles for people who are interested in mentorship. And finally, we have the screen printing pro, which is a role for somebody who can help our campers to make their own band shirts. And again, this is a part-time role.
I've been like a hardcore roadie.
Basically, the roadie is making sure that everything within each room is working. To be a roadie, you have to have drive, a lot of energy, and a very high tolerance for my voice.
Support roles at camp that all have quite flexible availability in terms of days of the week and time include roadies, kitchen crew, receptionists, media crew, so that would be photographers and videographers, showcase support for our Saturday performance after camp, floater, which is a role that is the least commitment of all and is just about coming to camp and seeing where help is needed. We also need help with moving our offices during the camp season. So if you're available during the weekdays to help us move our gear, then moving crew would be great for you.
Next steps for volunteering. Number 1, go to our website for more information on roles and availability requirements.
Then you're going to fill out an application online. Once you've filled out the application and been accepted into the Willie Mae Rock Camp family, you will attend an orientation which happens on the Sunday before each camp session. As you've seen from hearing from our volunteers today, volunteering at camp is a really transformative experience for so many, and we really hope that you feel like you have the info that you need to come be a part of the volunteer crew and impact the lives of our campers, your fellow volunteers,
and yourself.
Perfect.
Just us, you know what I'm saying?